먼저 맞이했기 조금 I just want to say thank you just for inviting me, giving me this opportunity to say a few words about your special day. Greetings everyone. Tiffany said I am Dr. Emmanuel Yang. I want to say last month, it's been 2 years since I graduated from pharmacy school at the Medical College of Wisconsin, right here next to Frieder School of Pharmacy. Right now, I'm working as a pharmacist at Hyatt Pharmacy's LTC. LTC stands for long-term care. What we do is we service a bunch of medications for pretty much a lot of patients across the southern Wisconsin. So that's a bunch of assisted living facilities, nursing homes, adult family homes, and like detox centers. So 2 years ago when I graduated, first thing that came to my mind, I wanted one person to speak at my celebration too. And that was Jess. So I wanted Jess to speak at my graduation as well. And thankfully she did. So now I'm returning the favor, and I'm happy to do that. So, one of the reasons why I wanted her to speak at my celebration too is that I know Jess. She has a good heart, so whatever she says, I know it comes from her heart. And she pretty much echoes the words of achievement, about personal growth, and someone's own individual success. So, but today, we celebrate and commemorate my cousin, Dr. Jessica Yang. Jess, I just want to take this time just to share a few memories that we shared as cousins growing up and some of our mutual interests. So, which I'll only mention like 4 of them. So, number 1, the piano. We played a lot of piano as kids back in the day. I remember we always played Roma compositions and Final Fantasy songs, and everybody just got sick of it at one point. But now you're a doctor now, and I don't know if you have any more of your piano skills. I don't have mine anymore either. So now we're just in healthcare now. Number 2, Asian dramas. So just is the reason why I was into Taiwanese dramas growing up. And I think what's funny is when we were growing up as kids, we were too young to realize that they were so cheesy. But we were just kids and we were having fun. So. Number 3, we share an interest in listening to Korean music too. But nowadays, just more about songs, OST songs, and I'm more about K-pop. So that's the difference between us there. And then number 4, one memory. I think this one would be my favorite one. It's the one I always cherish the most. Is growing up, we spent most of our youth serving in the church, and we did that together. There was a time where we shared leadership positions. We were in the praise band together at one point, and we just hung out a lot with the youth together. And it was always with one of my cousins, Jess, too. So we just had a good time, and that's one of my favorite memories. Now, as a doctor, in every medical profession, speaking of professions, I know there's a couple of pharmacists in here. If you want to raise some hands. Pharmacists? Higher? I know there's another one too that's in pharmacy school right now, right? So, or about to be, right? Okay. Do we have any doctors in here? Besides Jess? Okay. Nurses, right? Nurses give a lot of credit. They do a lot of the back end work too, so which we appreciate. So yeah, that's good. We got some pharmacists here, we have nurses here, and we have Jess here as our doctor. So what I want to go into next is just in every medical profession, during your ceremony when you graduate, each graduate, like when Jess had a graduation 2 weeks ago, each graduate, they complete their academic journey by reciting an oath. You were sworn in, and now this is like your duty, your calling. Typically, these ceremonies, it follows like a modern version of the Hippocratic Oath. The School of Medicine, where you graduated from, Jess, St. George's University, we know they had their own version too of the oath, which you have to recite. Even in pharmacy school, we have to recite our own too. I want to mention the American Medical Association, which is the AMA, which if you don't know what that is, that's basically a large medical organization. And it's consisting of a whole board of physicians, other medical professions, even lawmakers too, policymakers too. Basically, their mission is to promote the art and science of medicine and the betterment of public health. So the AMA, they titled their own version of their oath too. They call it the Declaration of Professional Responsibility. This declaration, it defines their version of the oath. And the declaration carries a total of 9 points that you're sworn into as a medical professional. But I'm only going to mention 4 of them. 4 of them because I find them the most important. Point number 1, as a doctor, you will respect human life and the dignity of every individual you come across. Number 2, you treat the sick and injured with competence and compassion and without prejudice. Number 3, you educate the public about present and future threats to the health of humanity. And the last one, number 4, medical professionals, you advocate for the social, economic, educational, and the political changes that help reduce the suffering and you contribute to human well-being. So, as a physician, these are points that Jess has to uphold in her life to become a doctor now. It's important to uphold and carry these ethics and values into the profession. I want to say the best thing about Jess is she can do all that. She can already do all that. Everybody, those of you that are here, you know, and if you're close to Jess, you know what kind of person she is and what kind of human being she carries herself, okay? And if you know Jess like I do, you already know how vocal she can be in her beliefs and her values. She will fight for those who are less fortunate. She's a person that is not afraid to speak up when something is wrong, and she will fight for what is right. And Jess is honestly just someone that truly understands how to listen. I believe that is what a doctor should be. That is the type of doctor this world needs now, especially during a time when, you know, even our own country tends to neglect those that need help the most, right? Today, everyone here, Jess, everyone here today, they're here because they believe in you, they support you, and they know that you have a calling, a purpose in life. And that purpose is to heal every life, and to heal the hearts of humanity. So, that's pretty much it. But Jess, I just want to let you know, don't forget that we're going to be doing this again in a few more years when you get your residency too. So, we're going to celebrate again. All those sleepless nights you and I studying too at UWM, they weren't for nothing, and it brought you here. So, congratulations, Dr. Yang.
Come in, share a few words as well.
Everyone got their drinks? You're good? Okay. Thank you all so much for sitting through and listening to all of the wonderful things that my parents, my sisters, my in-laws, my cousins, the Wong Young family have said. Just bear with us a little bit more. I'm sorry if mine's a little bit longer, but I guess it's my day, so it's okay. But just want to say good afternoon to everyone. 但是个啥我们什么叫没懂讲背考，这种啥么？Honestly, looking out, I can't believe I'm standing here right now, pregnant, and surrounded by the people who have carried me here. They're one of the hardest, but most beautiful chapters of my life, and it's truly surreal because 4 years ago I just did not think I would ever get here, but here we are. And now there's 2 extra letters after my name. But today isn't just about this degree. It's about the journey that got me here. And it definitely was not a straight path. Those of you close to me kind of know how my journey was, but just to kind of give a little bit of an overview on how I got here today, I want to let you guys all know that I have always wanted to be a doctor. So I know my sisters had mentioned that, it was like a requirement for my parents that one was to be a doctor. But naturally, it was something that I did want to pursue. So I was pre-med in college. I did all the volunteering at the hospitals, tried to get good grades, got a degree in biology. But when I graduated, I didn't really feel ready to apply because I was, 21? And like 21-year-olds don't always know what they want to do when they're graduated. So I think I was just too young and too unsure. And medicine is a very rigorous path for those of us who are in it. And so I gave myself time to just step back and figure out if this was really my path and my calling. And I took about a 6-year gap year, so it was pretty long. But I did make sure what I did between was purposeful, and I consciously chose things to help me figure out if I wanted to spend the rest of my life in medicine. And so I lived in Peru for a little bit. I guess I was a more rebellious child. I kind of made all these decisions and did all these things. So I was the first one to go international and live there. I did medical missions there, and then after that, I moved to the Twin Cities. I was a college possible coach with AmeriCorps, and then I was trained as a patient service representative in a psychiatry clinic. That was very interesting. And then I trained as a medical scribe, and by trade, that's kind of what I am still, even though I have my medical degree now. And when I came back to Wisconsin, because this was all back in the Twin Cities, I started working at St. Luke's Hospital, and that's where I was introduced to the field of cardiology and fell in love with it. And that's also when I applied to medical school for the first time, and I got rejected. This was in 2017. But I kept moving forward. I worked at St. Luke's still. I also got my master's in public health in 2020, and then I took a job with the health department here in Milwaukee, and it was actually with my husband. We were both inspectors for a year. So it was a big shift from my medical journey, but it was during this time, 2020, the height of COVID, it hit, and I think God honestly just threw me back into medicine anyways, because we ended up doing healthcare work as health inspectors, and so I think it became really crystal clear to me that I was meant to do medicine. It was actually my calling. So I applied to medical schools again, and I got one interview at the U of M, and then waitlisted and ultimately rejected. And I was, it was hard figuring out what to do then, because I was married, I was young, and so I had to juggle all of these other responsibilities and thoughts with this plan as well. But I decided to apply to St. George's University, which is a Caribbean medical school. And I knew the stigma attached to those schools. I also knew what people said, that was going to be a lot harder. But I said yes anyways, and I went. And it turns out everything worked out the way just as it was supposed to. And I really think God knew, and He played a hand in it. And I'm now here standing today on the other side after this long winding road. And I'm grateful for every detour, every delay, and disappointment, because that brought me closer to my purpose and to clarity and to this moment here. So, for those of you who think that after graduating medical school, I'm like this big hotshot doctor, like I'm not. I wish. But unfortunately, that's not how the process works. next step in my journey is actually residency, like my cousin had mentioned. So there's still intense years of training, 3 years minimum. So I'm going to be trained under the field that I've chosen. So we could train under pediatrics, surgery, OB-GYN, internal medicine. It's really the student at the time's choice in applying and picking. But we still have board exams. We have to still take licensing exams. Again, there's a lot of intense training. And this part of the journey has been a little bit delayed for me, just because, as you all know, I was pregnant in medical school multiple times. I didn't apply this cycle because I had taken a leave after I had this little one. He was running around here, Melody. So I took half a year off. Luckily, I was able to graduate on time, but I was a little sad because I didn't get to apply with my classmates, taking this year off. Now, I would actually be starting residency like now, or the next couple of weeks, if I had applied. But again, I'm standing here 8 months pregnant, so I'm glad it didn't happen that way, because it would not have been that great. And those of you who are in medicine and moms, you guys know how difficult it is to juggle all of that. So I'm very grateful that I have this year off to just spend time with our kids before I'm training again, and we're doing this again for the next 3 to 6 years. Just saying. And I realized that trying to be a good student, a good mom, a good wife, a good daughter-in-law, it was just a lot. So I stepped back, and I'm so glad I did, because I really got to spend time with Anthem and Melody when I took that leave. And so I'm excited to now say, though, that I will be applying for internal medicine this fall. Actually, the application opens up on Wednesday for me. So right after this, I will be going straight into applications. And the hope is to eventually go into cardiology, which is the field I've loved since my very first days as a scribe. The truth is, medical school takes a lot from you, not just your time and your sleep, but your energy, your emotions. For me, it was moments with my loved ones. And I miss birthdays and holidays. I miss time with my kids, with my husband. But honestly, I'm proud because I haven't cried too much. Like, you hear stories about students in medical school who are always crying, and I think being in medical school just made me very efficient, I guess. So I cry, but it's in like spurts, and then you just are like, okay, I gotta go back and study. I can't cry anymore. But I have also doubted a lot being here, and if I deserve to be here, if I belonged. But every time I was ready to quit, I was reminded why I started, and I thought about truly the patients that I get to serve, the ones who are scared and vulnerable, and the ones who need someone to advocate for them, and that's what kept me going. So the bulk of this speech here is really not going to be about me. It's going to be about thanking the people who have really brought me here and who have supported me and made this journey possible. So I ask that you bear with me a little bit more, because I didn't get here alone. So first, I want to thank my parents and my parents-in-law. Thank you for everything. Your love, your guidance, and support have been the foundation of this journey. You have each made sacrifices behind the scenes that I may never fully understand or be able to repay. From watching the kids, to cooking meals, to praying for me, encouraging me when I felt like I had nothing left to give. You all stepped in without hesitation, time and time again. So to my mom and my dad, you both taught me what true resilience looks like. You showed me how to work hard, how to care for others, and how to keep going, even when the world feels heavy. When I felt like giving up, your voices reminded me of why I started. And you never hesitated to step in when I was exhausted or overwhelmed, or just lost in the chaos of school. And Mom, especially you, every single time I came over, you were just like, have you eaten yet? Have you rested? You're pregnant, you need to sit down, stop lifting, you're like, have Val do everything. Because you've been through it too. Pregnancy is hard for those of us who've gone through it, and you need a lot of support. You come to meals, ran errands, you guys watched Stand Up Melody, and you always made sure I felt supported, even when I didn't want to ask you for help, because I was not that type of person, but you saw. And you never once made me feel like I was a burden, and instead you reminded me that we're in this together. And everything I've accomplished is built on the sacrifices you both made, even before I knew what the word benefit was. And tonight, as I stand here, this afternoon, with this degree, I want you to know that it's not just mine, but it belongs to both of you. Thank you both for loving me through everything, and I hope that I've made you proud. And then to my other mom and dad, thank you for embracing me as your own and for always being there. Thank you both so much for everything you've done to support me, to staying in our family. I could not have made it without you two, because you've watched Anthem and Melody every day so I could study, and free childcare is a blessing. Like, it really, really is. I have to say that. I don't know how we would do this if we were in a different state or if we didn't have family with us. So thank you so much. You've given them love and stability and care while I chased this dream of being a doctor. And that support is priceless. So I'm so thankful. I don't take it for granted at all, because we're going to probably need it in the future too. When I do residency, assuming I stay here in Milwaukee. So thank you so much for being an important part of this journey. And I'm so grateful for you. To my siblings in law, there's a ton of you all spread throughout these tables. I just want to say that I'm so thankful for you all for cheering me on, for always being present even when I couldn't. Thank you for your prayers, your thoughts, your hugs, helping hands, and the faith you had in me when I couldn't see the finish line. And I wouldn't be standing here today without all of you. Bây giờ tôi sao có cho cái đó ban sai cho em không đạo lý ha so ô cái cháu ở từ lúc có này tôi có cái thằng cái tao em không đạo lý vô để phải auntie tôi thằng cái mong chế so ô cái cháu. And then just to my sisters and my brother specifically, you've all been there since the very beginning, long before I wanted to be a doctor. So you've seen every version of me: teenage me, drama me, mean me, burned out me, tired me, always complaining me. But through it all, you all have never stopped showing up, and I'm thankful that you guys always pick up the phone when I call or when I text. Thank you for being brutally honest with me when I need it, for letting me vent and reminding me about who I am when I doubt. So your support and your faith in me have also meant a lot, and I hope I made you all proud as well. I also just want to take a moment to thank my cousin Emmanuel, who's back there. He's not just family, but he's one of my closest friends, my forever study partner. Even when he was already graduated, he would still come out to me and study with me. You help me stay sane and accountable. Like, I don't think I would have stayed at the library for longer than 5 hours. But you always said you didn't want to go home, so I had to stay and study. But I'm so grateful for that. We literally studied 10 to 12 hours a day, always pushing each other and encouraging each other. And now you're a full-fledged pharmacist, and I'm super proud of you. And we always said we would speak at each other's graduation, and we have now. So I'm glad that we were able to both do that. It's a full circle moment. And we always talked about this actually, from when we were in college to when we were in graduate school, and now as thank you for always showing up for me with your loyalty, humor, your love. And I wouldn't be standing here today without you either. And next, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the entire cardiology team at St. Luke's. Some of you are here. I'm so glad you guys came. From the very beginning of the journey, when I started scribing in 2017 through medical school and now as a medical graduate, I've been incredibly fortunate to learn and grow alongside all of you. I truly cannot ask for a better group of mentors and supporters. And I also want to honor my longtime mentor. He wasn't able to join us today, Dr. Tubaluri. I was very grateful for his guidance and mentorship since day one, as they shaped me into who I am today. Working with him over the years was a privilege, and I'm forever grateful for his wisdom and encouragement. He was always one of my biggest supporters, so I just want to give him a shout out even though I know he's not here today. And then to all the other attendings, I have to name them to Dr. Lepperman, Dr. Port, Dr. John, Dr. Bajwa, Dr. Bernstein, Dr. Kita, all the other cardiologists, and then the nurses who are here. Lisa's here, Dee's here. I think Tracy is coming. Hopefully she'll come, and then all the APCs, and then the scribes who are also here, Shusher, Mackenzie. You all have been by my side in some way throughout this journey. So I'm so thankful and lucky to have had a chance to learn and just grow with such an extraordinary team. And you've all not only taught me the science of cardiology, but also the compassion and the dedication it takes to care for patients. Because I see what you guys do, and I don't know if I could do it. So especially the nurses, shout out to the nurses. You guys are amazing. And I don't know what a doctor would do without you guys, to be honest. But again, thank you so much. I'm so fortunate to have learned and have grown with you all. All right. And now, here comes the part where I may cry, because I want to take this moment to honor my husband, Justine. It's going to be a long moment, but bear with me, just because this is so important. And Justine, I know you won't make eye contact with me, but you've been my rock and my anchor through every step of this journey. You stood by me, witnessing not only my triumphs, but also my most vulnerable moments. Can't even see the speech anymore. You've seen the times that I doubted everything, that I couldn't ever find or see the silver lining. Because medical school is hard. And those were really hard days where I questioned if I could even finish this and keep going. But through it all, you stayed, and you were always my silver lining. You see me at my most hopeful and excited, and you see me when I was so drained, on the verge of giving up. But in those moments when I doubted my own strength, you were always there. You carried the weight, and you did it quietly. You didn't complain. You knew I was tired and too overwhelmed, and you were still always there. Never blaming me, never getting upset that this is the journey that I chose and the career that I wanted. You were always so supportive. You believed in me more than I believed in myself. And I know I wasn't, and I'm still not, the easiest person to be around, especially on days when I'm exhausted and too tired to give you or our kids the attention you all deserve. And my stress and my fears and the pressure I was under, it did spill over, into our life together. But you never wavered, you never complained at all. And again, you never blamed me for this path. And it's common knowledge in medicine that relationships don't always do the best, because doctors are always on call, they're always gone. So statistically, it's just how it is, but I don't have any doubt with just saying, because he's never made me feel that way before. There were countless times I felt like I was failing at everything. A student, failing as a mom, failing as your wife. But you always saw something in me. You saw my potential when I was defeated, and you reminded me that it's worth it, and there's a purpose behind all these sacrifices. And you loved me unconditionally, even when I felt least deserving of it. And I'll never be able to thank you enough for that. So as I stand here today, I realize this moment isn't just mine, but it's truly ours. You've been with me through every triumph and setback. You shared in the burdens and the blessings. And I wouldn't stand here today without your love and support, and your patience, especially, and your unwavering belief. And I still don't know how you believe so much in me. You have so much faith in me. But I'm truly blessed. It's a blessing. So this journey has been just as much mine as it has been, or has been yours as much as it has been mine. So with everything I thank you. I'm endlessly grateful for you. And I know I couldn't have made it here without you by my side. I love you more than words can express. And I look forward to all the moments we'll continue to share as partners and as a family and as a team, because we're truly in this together. So thank you for everything. And then lastly, I just want to recognize and honor the Lord's presence in my life. Even in the times when I felt distanced, overwhelmed, or like I couldn't find my way, I know He was always there, quietly watching over me, guiding me in ways I didn't even realize. Even when I wasn't actively seeking Him, I knew He was always there, gently nudging me forward in the background and providing me the strength that I needed to keep going. And looking back, He played a hand in every step of this journey. Every step. Helping me navigate challenges, offering me comfort when I was struggling, allowing the right people to enter my life at the right time when I needed it. So I'm forever grateful for His unwavering love and His guidance. He's been my constant, even when I couldn't always feel it. But everything I am today is because of God, and I give Him all the glory. So as I close here, I just wanted to say that there's always this joke that being a doctor means a life of perpetual exhaustion. And I never understood that until I became a medical student, and now a mom on top of that we're just always tired. And whenever anyone asks me how I'm doing, I always say I'm tired. It's the same answer. And while we can laugh about it, there's a lot of truth to it. You know, the sleepless nights, the endless studying, constant pressure of feeling like I'm always behind in life. It's all very real, but there's also something beautiful in the struggle, because while I've given up a lot to be here today, I've also been given a lot. And medicine has given me a purpose. It's given me connection. It's given me the chance to be there for people during their most vulnerable moments and to make a difference, even if it's in the smallest ways. And at its core, that's what this journey has always been about. Not the grades or the title, but the people I get to serve and the relationships I get to build and the lives I get to touch. And for anyone out there who is interested in medicine or thinking about pursuing it, don't let the sacrifices scare you. There are hard days, many of them. And there's moments when the weight just feels unbearable. There's times where you question yourself, whether you're enough, and then you battle the imposter syndrome, think that you don't belong. But those moments are also the ones that shape you. Medicine doesn't just teach you how to heal others, but in a way also how to heal yourself. It teaches you how to be strong, resilient, and deeply human. And a lot of times that gets lost in healthcare. So those are important things to always remember. But I'm going to be honest, it's not an easy road. It's a demanding profession. And adding motherhood on top of it, especially with young kids, makes it even harder. It asks a lot of you. But if you truly love it, like love the work you do, love the impact and difference you make, that's what's going to carry you through. It's not the paycheck or the title, the white coat, but it's truly the love for the work and for the people. And that's what's going to get you through. So thank you all so much for being here to celebrate with me. It means the world that you all took the time to be here. Whether you came from across the country or just down the road, your presence here is a gift that I don't take for granted. So again, please stick around, grab a drink, or three, eat our food, enjoy yourselves. You've all played a part in this journey, every single person in this room in some way. And tonight, I hope you all feel as celebrated as I do. So thank you all again. Your gift is a presence I don't take for granted. Your presence is a gift, offering, that I don't take for granted. But I love you all so hope you all enjoyed tonight.